The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Raj Yoga, Chapter 7, Dhyana and Samadhi, Part 4. In order to reach the superconscious state in a scientific manner, it is necessary to pass through various steps of Raj Yoga that I have been teaching. After Pratyahara and Dharana, we come to Dhyana, meditation. When the mind has been trained to remain fixed on a certain internal or external location, there comes to it the power of flowing in an unbroken current, as it were, towards that point. This state is called dhyana. When one has so intensified the power of dhyana as to be able to reject the external part of the perception and remain meditating only on the internal part, the meaning that state is called samadhi. The three, dharana, dhyana and samadhi, together are called samyama. That is, if the mind can first concentrate upon an object and then is able to continue in the concentration for a length of time, and then by continued concentration to dwell only on the internal part of the perception of which the object was the effect, everything comes under the control of such a mind. This meditative state is the highest state of existence. So long as there is desire, no real happiness can come. It is only the contemplative, witness-like study of objects that brings us real enjoyment and happiness. The animal has its happiness in the senses, the man in his intellect, and the God in spiritual contemplation. It is only to the soul that has attained to this contemplative state that the world really becomes beautiful. To him who desires nothing and does not mix up himself with them, the manifold changes of nature are but one panorama of beauty and sublimity. These ideas have to be understood in dhyana or meditation. We hear a sound. First, there is an external vibration. Second, the nerve motion that carries it to the mind. Third, the reaction from the mind along with the flash of knowledge of the object, which was the external cause of the different changes from the ethereal vibrations to the mental reactions. These three are called in yoga Shabd, sound, Arth, meaning, and Jnana, knowledge. In the language of physics, the physiology, they are called the ethereal vibration, the motion in the nerve and the brain, and the mental reaction. Now these, though distinct processes, have become mixed up in such a fashion as to become quite indistinct. In fact, we cannot now perceive any of these. We can only perceive their combined effect. Every act of the perception includes these three, and there is no reason why we should not be able to distinguish them. When, by the previous preparation, it becomes strong and controlled and has the power of finer perception, the mind should be employed in meditation. This meditation must begin with gross objects and slowly rise to finer and finer until it becomes objectless. The mind should first be employed in perceiving the external causes of sensations, then the internal motions, and then its own reactions. When it has succeeded in perceiving the external causes of sensation by themselves, the mind will acquire the power of receiving all fine material existences, all fine bodies and forms. When it can succeed in perceiving the motions inside by themselves, it will gain the control of all mental waves in itself or in others, even before they have translated themselves into physical energy. And when he will be able to perceive the mental reaction by itself, the yogi will acquire the knowledge of everything, as every sense object and every thought is the result of this reaction. Then will he have seen the very foundations of his mind, and it will be under his perfect control. Different powers will come to the yogi, and if he yields to the temptations of any one of these, the road to his further progress will be barred. Such is the evil of running after enjoyments. But if he is strong enough to reject even these miraculous powers, he will attain the goal of yoga, the complete suppression of the waves in the ocean of the mind. Then the glory of the soul, undisturbed by the distractions of the mind or motions of the body, will shine in its full effulgence, and the yogi will find himself as he is and as he always was, the essence of knowledge, the immortal, the all-pervading. Samadhi is the property of every human being, nay, every animal. From the lowest animal to the highest angel, sometime or the other, each one will have to come to that state, and then alone will real religion begin for him. Until then, we only struggle towards that stage. There is no difference now between us and those who have no religion, because we have no experience. What is concentration good for? Save to bring us to this experience. Each one of these steps to attain Samadhi has been reasoned out, properly adjusted, scientifically organized, and when faithfully practiced, will surely lead us to the desired end. Then alone will all sorrows cease, all miseries vanish, the seeds of actions will be burnt, and the soul will be free forever.